Let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. The word that springs to mind, for most, would be lucky. It was a lucky win, but sometimes you're going to need a bit of luck, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I thought the second half, Manchester United come out and they played so well in that second half. The first 15, 20 minutes, pushing Arsenal back. Obviously, the penalty is a massive miss for Manchester United's point of view, because if he scores that, then suddenly they're on the front foot, momentum going forward.
Can I ask you something about
and
the
also,
penalty?
I'd always say as well, the goal, Xhaka's goal, coming at exactly the right time. You know, it just knocked the stuffing out of Manchester United a little bit, that goal, because they was pushing for that equaliser, and there was a couple of opportunities. We saw Ronaldo was millimetres of nearly onside when he scored. A brilliant goal again, wasn't it? The way he took that, that's fantastic. But in the end, it was a great win for Arsenal. That's all you've got to do. This time of the season, it's not about how you play, and it's all about getting 3 points on the table when you're battling against the other sides around you, especially in the early kick-off as well. That more or less stopped Manchester. If Manchester United would have won that game, they would have been back in the hunt for top 4. That more or less pushes them out of it. You expect West Ham to be out of it now because of Europa League is the most important thing for David Moyes' side. So it's really out of Arsenal and Spurs. So, the Spurs game, 5:30, that was a result for Arsenal because dropping 2 points.
Yeah, and of course North London Derby's coming up May the 12th, isn't it, as well?
Got 3 hard away games, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Newcastle, suddenly.
Well, West Ham's one of them, and that might not be as difficult depending on the team picked.
Yeah, Dawson's a big loss for him as well at centre-half position. I don't know what they're going to do at the back for David Moyes, and he might rest players. If they get a good result on Thursday, which we're all hoping they do, then he might look at the second leg and say, I need to rest a few players here because we can't get in that top 4. Let's concentrate and trying to get in that final. And if they do get into the final, they've got a great chance of winning it, West Ham.
They have.
Leipzig are obviously the favourites to win it, but if they can get over 2 legs and win win against Leipzig, they've got a great chance of winning it.
Okay, just a couple of things. Cristiano Ronaldo, you're right to bring him up because is there anybody else who's even a contender for any of the awards for Player of the Season at Man United this campaign? I mean, he might even get Young Player of the Year. He's been that good. Do you see him for Granit Xhaka's goal? I mean,
he's too late. But what a strike, though.
It was a great strike, but he's like
he's got bodies in front of him,
poking his head round one side, and the ball's already in the net the other side. I'm not sure about that. On goalkeepers though, Ramsdale celebrating the penalty. I thought he'd saved it at first, but he's gone completely the wrong way, and he's celebrating like he saved it.
Well, it's a big relief because he probably knows as well that they're really on top of in that period of the game. If that penalty goes in, suddenly it's a different game. I mean, you'll probably go Manchester United to win it because of the momentum. Arsenal were just backing off and let him Manchester have that possession. Down the right-hand side for Man United, they was very dangerous, obviously. Ronaldo saw there's a little bit of a weakness with Tavares at left-back, so he really sort of played on between the centre-half and Tavares, and they got a lot of joy from there. Ramsdale made a great save just before that, didn't he, from the full-back?
You're right. If Ronaldo takes the penalty, for example, and scores it, or if Bruno scores the penalty even, you expect Man United
it's relief, really,
to get at least
when you
a draw,
miss a penalty.
Yeah. And I think that was a turning point, possibly in this top 4 race, because Spurs for me, Harry Kane always seems to play well. It's when Son plays well, Spurs will get a result. When Son is a bit within himself, as I thought he has been for the last 2 games, not played well at all, that's when Spurs struggle to dominate games, struggle to score goals. He's their top scorer this season, so what I'm saying isn't rocket science.
No.
But what I would say is that Arsenal are the favourites, and I think they've been helped by the fact that they're not in Europe. They went out of the FA Cup early as well. So I think that's a key for them. What's going to be really interesting, I do think they'll finish 4th row. I'd love to get your views on this. But with that squad, I'm not convinced that's a squad that's going to challenge any depth in the Champions League next season, and that will be a worry, I think.
Well, we all know that the transfer winners will be very important for lots of clubs, and Arsenal's one of them. The only good thing about it, if you can get that top 4, you can attract bigger players and get better quality players in at your club. So I'm sure Eddie will be looking at the situation. Jesus has been mentioned. We're going to have a little chat about him later. But strikers-wise, they've got to bring in 2 strikers. There's no doubt about that. So whoever they can get, it's a lot easier for Edu or the recruitment people to bring in top quality strikers if you're in the Champions League. So that is the big question. If they do miss out, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to bring players in.
They need 2 strikers, and strikers, goal scorers, as we know, cost a lot of money, so they've got to be wary of that. He's also got this policy of kind of young and hungry players, which has worked well this season for them, the transfers players they bought in last summer. And I think that he'll want to respect that policy as well. But there's a balance, isn't there, between being competitive in the Premier League and the Champions League and making sure you're on the right path with your project, process, whatever he calls it.
Yeah, of course. And to be fair, this season they've had so much rest in between games, haven't they? A lot of the other clubs around them, like West Ham, playing lots and lots of football with the Europa League and all stuff like that. So that's helped them a lot. You know, you can recover a lot quicker. But it is a young squad. It's all about keeping the young squad together. And then adding to that, Odegaard's been a great signing. He's been fantastic in the number 10 role. Saka, we know about him. Smith Rowe has really come on leaps and bounds. You know, all these guys are getting better and better. So I've got to give a mention to El Neni as well in central midfield. The last couple of games he's been very good. You know, alongside Xhaka, because at time Odegaard was playing alongside him. It just didn't work out for him, being a bit too deep. But El Neni's come in, got his opportunity, and he's done really well in the last couple of games.
With the process, just a quick one on this. Could it help Arsenal not to be in the Champions League next year?
No. You got to get it. You got to get back into that Champions League. Really have. You know, I think the last time. When was the last year it was in it? 2016 was it? Something like that. So that's too long. I'm getting used to them not being in it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. So you really need to get back into that Champions League. Then invest, because you know you're going to get lots more money coming into the club. Commercially, it's good for the club as well, because you're going to get more sponsors. People want to get involved there because you're in the Champions League. So it's a must that Arsenal try and get in it this season.
It's great to be in the Champions League. I just wonder, with the process that Arteta has started at Arsenal, whether it's too much too soon. This season, with no distractions from the Premier League, effectively, they still haven't kept Tierney fit, Partey's not fit, Tomiyasu's not fit. So if you play a load of really highly competitive games, add in those Champions League games on top of that, then you wonder how fit that squad will stay. And bear in mind, you're absolutely right, they need two strikers. That will probably take up all the budget. I just wonder if there's any Arsenal fans who are slightly cautious about Champions League next season, because your favourites to finish fourth. And are there any
still a long way to go, Aid?
Oh, there are. But
of course you're
any
favourites,
Spurs fans who are Arsenal are favourites, any Spurs fans who have any confidence that they're about to get back on track? 03717 22 33 44.